And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Make it clear that the views expressed by our host are not considered the official stance of NDR views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Find us on the web at
Hey guys, Noelle here. In honor of our soldiers, our military personnel that are currently deployed right now, I wanted to take the time to personally thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all that you guys do, even the veterans. I also wanted you guys to see our team and what they had written to you guys personally. I wish you all nothing but love and respect.
So welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. 'Cause these are my people.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Big Grizz Show. It's what, Friday the 28th. I for some reason was thinking it was the 27th. Ooh. Hey, it's Red Friday, you guys. Remember, everybody deployed. You can see we're wearing red. It's that's definitely one that you should hold close and dear. But today we have Coach Huya back, co-hosting with me, and we have Mr. Craig Murphy, whose mic is muted, or he froze. Okay, well, let's see if he realizes that and unfreezes. He'll jump back in. So today, Craig was a veteran of the United States Coast Guard. I believe he said he was an E5, which is a YN2. I think. I don't know how those ranks work, but
yeah, it's second class.
I don't know what any is. It the same as the Navy?
You know, I think they are.
So is there a YN2 Navy rank?
Yeah, that's like a yeoman, second class yeoman, E5.
Oh, okay. So then I was right. That's what he said. He was an E5. What does yeoman mean?
Well, those are the people that take care of the administrative side. The ones who like, did my leave check get approved? Or, doing all the documentation. They're like, I guess you could consider. Will I get beat up for saying the word secretary? I ask him when he comes in.
I don't know. Why would you? Why would that matter?
Some people like those words. I'm trying to be inclusive. So, but yeah, almost like the secretary for the CO, XO, or whoever is the department head.
That's like our S3 shop. They're the same thing. They're office people. They're secretaries. I mean, I don't. It's just a word. I don't know why people would take that offensive, but it's what it is. I got nothing. So, in your opinion, what's the difference between Navy and Coast Guard?
How far you can go out on the ocean, I guess.
Is that what it is? So it's
because the Coast Guards are like, and you know what? I never until I start talking to somebody in Coast Guard, just realized how much they protect the borders, the coastline, Coast Guard. But yeah, so they take care of that perimeter, in the Navy, do more of the further outreach, because you don't want to see if the carrier is that close to the shore, something went wrong.
So, well, it looks like I'll be interviewing you, which that's okay. Let's talk
Okay.
about your military. When did you enlist?
Oh my goodness. I enlisted in 1998. I did 2 years of college and figure out that probably is not for me. I love learning, but I had too many freedoms. I thought I wanted to be on my own and independent, but I had too much freedom, was partying. I jeopardized my scholarship. Um,
Oh,
and I was like, I don't want to my I don't want my parents telling, they told me what to do for 18 years. I'd rather have somebody else tell me what to do. So I joined
okay.
the Navy. Um, they
So
had just
how
oh, go
long
ahead.
how long were you in the Navy?
14 and a half years.
Oh wow. Wow,
Yeah.
you stayed in for were you trying to be a lifer or
I was. An event occurred of where well, it was a combination. My physical health and I had just became a mother. I could Skype my husband. That was cool. I could do all of that. But the idea of him holding the baby up and sending me pictures, I couldn't handle that.
I see I get what I get it. I did 12 years and I didn't have that I mean I had my daughter was born while I was deployed, but
Mhm.
I didn't have those thoughts. I guess that's the difference mother versus father wise. More I want to be with my baby. Where yeah, I did, but I also knew I had a job to do.
Yeah.
I mean, so I guess maybe it's easier for men to block that side of it out to focus on what they're doing, where I personally don't believe it's that easy for some females. Not
Yeah, yeah.
all, but some.
Listen, I was GI Jane. I was all about the business and, growing up but just I don't know, the hormones, something clicked in me and I was like, "Ooh, if somebody's gonna be teaching my child wrong, let it be me so then I'll know what to tell her to get out of the."
So, what was basic like in the Navy in the late 90s?
Late 90s, we still were running around doing the push-ups, getting punished. Nobody kicked me. I heard those type of stories. We weren't that we but yeah. Yeah, we didn't have everything in one shop. We had to run to everything. Couldn't sneak cookies or anything in, get in trouble. Crying, they play, "I'm proud to be an American," while you getting punished and having you crying and sweating tears on the, concrete. Yeah. So
Oh yeah. So what what are the steps in the naval basic training? I know army, I mean I can tell you I can walk you through everything in the army. But I know there's a difference because it for one it's a different branch and each entity does different things. So do you think military real quick you get in, you get yelled at, you get pushed in to learn real fast, and then you
yeah.
learn marching, and then you go to the gun range, and then you learn road marching and navigation and throwing grenades and that kind of stuff. So they teach you all the
Yeah, teach you the
land stuff.
history, break you down, make you give up you thought you were gonna have your teddy bear in the bunk with you. No, they make you give up all those personal items. And yeah, just break you down to that one team mentality. So we oh my goodness, I didn't know how to swim when I joined. So I'm have this swim coach hollering at me and I had to tell her, I was like, I'm sorry. Yelling at me to relax is not helping me relax. So is there a different approach we can take? But yeah. So I joined they happen to open up the nuclear engineering role to females because it's limited birthing on the ships and stuff. So we had to wait. And they opened it up when I was doing my ASVAB. So I end up going into that field. So in boot camp we had the 900 division. Those are the people that get to hold the state flags and do the rifles and all that. So I got to be part of that, and we got to go out and go to parades while I was in boot camp, which was it was kind of cool. But walking behind the horses, that was something. Mm.
Did you guys
I
have to
don't
pick
even
up?
want to think about it.
You guys have to pick up the horse poop, or did you just
We
walk
picked
through
it up with our boots, yeah. But
What's the most memorable thing that comes to mind for you in basic that you still hold on to today?
in basic, when I had my idea of okay, what I had to be a part of the team, I realized you can be all parts. You just got to be vocal. It's okay to be that quiet, strategic person or that loud person, and that they're not looking for. They're not looking for like this is the only way to be because there's so many different roles that need to be filled. If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. So did you guys obviously you guys had to learn how to march, and you learned, using a rifle and
Yes.
shooting it, I'm assuming, right? But did you guys have to learn land nav, or did you learn like sea navigation?
We learned about the sea navigation. It was very important that we knew how to swim. We man, you got me jogging back. What was all the other things we did? But yeah, they taught us how to do a rifle. Of course, if you were in the special ops, there was different
Yeah.
training that you went through. But yeah, it
So
was.
how long is a naval basic?
When I went through June, then it was 3 months.
Okay, so
Yeah.
9 weeks. Yeah, that's about what the military, the armies was until you went to your AIT, which is your individual job training or
Yeah.
advanced individual training.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. When I went to my A school for the nuclear program, I was just the thing that kept me going is I'm going to be in Florida because that's where they did the training. They switched the training to South Carolina. So it was like a week before we were supposed to do our graduation, and I was told I need to go to the main office. And oh my gosh, I was like, "What did I do? I'm about to get kicked out. Oh no!" And they were just telling me, "Yeah, your duty station has been changed. Your A school will now be in Goose Creek, South Carolina." I'm like,
So
"What?"
what's A school mean?
Oh, so the for my training, there was 3 sections to it. So it was A school. A school is where you're just getting it's almost like going through the idea of doing a boot camp, but it's just a general giving you the general training of what it is to be in the nuclear power. So you learn about Rickover, drinking the reactor water and all that.
Uh,
um
so
and
it's
then
your job
you branch
training.
off. Yeah, job training. And
Okay.
then you'll branch off into whichever, because there's 3. You have an electrician mate, electronic technician, and then the best, the machinist mate. We get oily. So
So you were in essence a mechanic.
yes,
Okay.
I was a mechanic that had to worry about radiation. So
So did you guys have to wear suits and like radiation suits and all that, or?
well, there was a lot of protective layers that are built in, but you just still need to be mindful because of where you're working. You actually would get more radiation from sunbathing than working down in a plane, but you still want to monitor it. We still kept it low.
So just
Um,
don't drink the colored water. That's too much. So how long was your A school training?
You asking me some in-depth questions. I'm trying to keep human beings alive now. But um A school. Don't quote me on that. I gotta look at it. I think it was like 6 months, if that, but it
Okay.
was that training, because we went from one to now getting in depth, um was like I was a college student. because we
Oh,
were
okay.
it was just strictly going to class. We had the birthing on there.
That was not
Um,
ours. We still had drill sergeants. We still had to deal with drill sergeants, and they were just as mean in AIT as they were in basic. So, you guys, stay tuned. You're listening to the Big Grizz Show. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll come back with Coach Huel, and we're gonna get into talking to her more about her military career outside of basic, when she actually was, what's the word? Real Navy, and not just learning. So we'll be back. You guys are watching Big Grizz Show on Military Broadcast Radio. Stay tuned.
Introducing LT Defense Tactical Gear, your ultimate solution for top-notch protection and performance in the field. Our armor bundles provide unmatched safety and comfort, while our battle belts and holsters ensure quick and easy access to your gear. Stay prepared for any situation with our high-quality medical supplies, designed to keep you ready for action at all times. Looking to enhance your skills? Our firearms training programs will take your proficiency to the next level. Trust LT Defense for all your tactical gear needs and gear up for success on the battlefield.
We were not made to live in isolation. Sadly, many of our veterans feel they need to fight their battles alone. This self-isolation has led to the staggering statistic of more than 20 veterans taking their lives every day.
A lot of guys end up drinking, a lot of guys end up losing hope. Someone will go to the VA and they'll try to get, prescription medications to help with PTSD. They'll get pills for anxiety, they'll get pills because they can't sleep, now they'll get pills for depression. Before they know it, they're taking 12 different medications. And when it's not working out, these guys lose hope, and that's why there's 23 guys a day committing suicide.
The mission of Mighty Oaks is to eradicate the veteran suicide epidemic and help our warriors change their legacies. As a result, we've been able to help over 4,000 veterans and first responders by equipping them with the tools they need to live the lives they were created to live.
Everything they said just kept hitting me in the heart over and over and over again. It's like all the things that I didn't know that I needed to hear. And I opened my heart to God that week, dude, and I've been a different person ever since.
Our faith-based, peer-to-peer approach has one of the highest success rates of any program available today, offering hope and understanding to those who need it most. We provide our programs and resources, including travel, at no cost to our warriors.
I remember talking to a licensed social worker who actually handed me a pamphlet to Mighty Oaks. So I went. And I'm glad I did.
By aligning their lives to biblical principles, these men and women are able to lead their families, their communities, and our nation. Our mission is to serve and restore our nation's warriors and families who have endured hardship through their service to America, and to help them find new life purpose through hope in Christ. It's your generosity that can make a difference in the lives of the men and women who have fought for our country and our freedoms. Now that they're home, don't let them fight alone. Learn more at mightyoaksprograms.org.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hey, welcome back, y'all. You're back watching the Big Grizz Show with Coach Huya. She's going to be having a show on Military Broadcast Radio here in roughly 3 weeks-ish, and it's going to be the Bond of Six. So we're going to get into that, and we're gonna throw her some rapid fire questions on what her podcast is going to be, but that's to come. So you're out of A school. You go to your first duty station. Where was that?
I was on the USS Nimitz. It was located in Virginia at the time.
And what kind of ship is that?
That is a wonderful nuclear aircraft carrier. It's the humongous football field, floating around.
How big are those? How big are those ships, like lengthwise?
Good question. I want to say I want to say it's probably about a football field.
Oh wow, it's about 300 feet.
See, you asked me measurement questions. I gotta get I gotta do research for
That's big.
I
Those are
normally
big
work in the
ships, though.
pits of it. I didn't get to enjoy that top part. I was down in the pits, sweating, getting so nuclear power, we get the steam going because the steam is like the SDG&E, the electric gas company, but the steam gets the generators going to get the electricity. We shoot the planes off with that steam.
Oh, really? That's how they take
Make
off?
potable water. Yeah, does that hook? It has that steam pressure that pushes it off.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and that steam will go out, help clean the clothes, cook some food, get some water.
So you guys
Hopefully,
were like the
warm water.
heartbeat of the ship.
There's a lot of people that need to be sending me some thank you letters. So I'm gonna have to put my address up there.
So, when you go out on the ship, that's considered a deployment for the Navy, correct?
Yes.
So Army, we'd obviously deployment would be in another country. How many of those type of deployments when you were on a ship and you were out at sea for the 6 months to a year, I'm assuming, how many of those were you on?
So I was on 2 carriers in my Navy career. That first one, the Nimitz, it was going through a refuel. Refuel is when they have to pretty much think about changing out the engine, the core, that nuclear core. So it's a long process. So I got a little spoiled in my beginning portion of my naval career,
Mhm.
but September 11th helped me remember that I was in the Department of Defense. Because we had to we changed home ports because they needed more support on the west side. So that was my first deployment, was going from Virginia over to California.
That's gotta be a long way on a ship.
Yeah. And a lot of the people, because a lot of the senior people were over there in the refueling period, and this goes on for over a year. So a lot of people had transferred off. So folks that were going on were a little rusty. So I was like, oh, who am I learning from? But we made it. But yeah, I learned that I get motion sickness. I had to take those pills.
What pills?
The motion sickness pills, like
Dramamine?
Yeah.
So a ship that big out in the ocean, does it really move that much?
It rocks. Cause I'm at the
Really?
I can feel
Wow.
it. I'm at the bottom. So the berthing is at the bottom. So yeah, you feel that.
So did you guys go through the Panama Canal when you went through, or did you all go all the way down around South America and up to California?
I could have sworn we went through the Panama Canal. I blocked out a lot of stuff from that because I was terrified of how people of just everything. It's like the noises, you can hear the planes going off. Yeah, that first eye opener of really being part of the Department of Defense took me through a lot on that first tour. But yeah. But having said that, on the Nimitz, I did 2 deployments on the Nimitz. I got to fly back and be part of the maintenance because we always do all that maintenance when we're pulling the port, and they'll send people out to talk with the civilian sector and set things up. Took a frightening ride from Thailand because the first 30 minutes it did that drop.
Turbulence.
Like, I have a whole bunch of more hours left after this. So
That's great. I'm glad my kids can't hear this because we're getting on a plane on Tuesday.
Oh no.
We are. We're going on vacation, and our daughter's never been on a plane.
Okay.
And our son, he's been on a plane before with his dad, but it was so long ago he doesn't remember.
Oh,
So like she's all excited. So she's sitting with me because I'm okay. I'm calm.
yeah.
Our son and his mom are not so calm on a plane.
You get them
So
two together.
oh yeah, they can sit together and
They're gonna balance it out.
they can stress it out together.
That's funny. Bring chewing gum because I learned that my ears pop.
Mhm.
They don't pop so much, but the first couple times it was like a horrible headache. So get that chewing gum.
Oh yeah, no. Our boy's already been asking, can we have gum? Can we have gum? Yes, you're gonna have gum. Are we gonna feel the plane? No. Once we're in the air, you're not even gonna realize we're in the air. I mean, that's just how it is. So no, it'll
Close the window. Then you won't know.
Well, I mean, they're not big enough than me, and so I'll sit by the window. Well, I mean, on the way down there, it's gonna be dark. There ain't gonna be nothing for them to see. So, it is what it is. So on your deployment sides of stuff, did you ever end up in like the Middle East, in the Baltic Sea, or anything like that?
The uniqueness of being on a carrier is that, like, when we go on deployment, we are the ride for other people. So, we took the Marines and everybody and the pilots, but I watch CNN to get more updates about it. And we could see, like, from a far distance, you can definitely see what's going on, but we don't get that up. As far as my occupation, I didn't get the up close combat. You can hear the rockets and stuff get shot off, but yeah.
So that's still considered a deployment. Just because you weren't on land fighting,
Yeah.
you're still there and having to deal with, knowing those rockets are going off and they're going right over my head and we're watching them land. That was the thing. And I've talked to a lot of people. Oh, you weren't there in the beginning. I really was. And I
Yeah.
remember watching all of these come over us and hit airfields, and then we'd go in.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what you did. And then you guys had jets. You're on an aircraft carrier. You had, I'm assuming, multiple different types of aircraft on there, but that had to affect you somehow, knowing when
It did, yeah.
they were going into danger.
Yeah. It impacted me because I know every sound I heard, I know it was supporting war, and it made me be very concerned about ensuring that, because if I am not doing the right thing, now if the ship is sitting in the water, somebody's waiting on us. Somebody needs us, but we're sitting stalling in the water because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So yeah, I know I was more of a support personnel in it, but still in part of the Department of Defense. But yeah, hearing that still.
So how many of those deployments that you were over in the Middle East? I mean, not on land, but altogether in ships over there?
I would want to say like 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were they all on aircraft carriers?
Yeah, all on aircraft carriers. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Were those the only ships that you were on, was aircraft carriers?
Yes.
Okay.
Because for my rating, nuclear power, my only option was aircraft carrier for sea duty. They were considering making an all-female submarine, but I wasn't signing up for it.
There's no way I could. I would not want to be that deep in the water. No. I like to see sun.
Yeah, I did my training on a submarine. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah. So it was docked, of course, but just walking across it, I'm a clumsy person. I'm like, oh Lord, is this non-skid really gonna catch me? So I was like, nobody talk to me when I'm walking across the surface.
Oh, because if you
don't
fall
even
on
look
top
in
of
my
that,
direction.
well, that's like if you fall if you slip and fall on the top of a sub, you're going into water. I mean, right? There's no.
Yeah, but there's lots of measures around you, but my brain always goes to, I'm going to be that one person that incident report about why you should walk a certain way.
Oh, that's too much. No, I can see that. I mean, I've never been on any of those ships, and I don't think I could. I mean, one of my biggest fears is water. I can swim, and I love to be on the water fishing, but you put me out in the ocean where I can't see land. Nah, I'm a nervous wreck.
Mhm.
I gotta see land. I gotta see
That's
trees,
what
or I'll get in my head, and it won't be a good thing.
I know. You always think about, like, this is the one day that one of those creatures that they write about is gonna want to come and do a cameo visit. Like, no.
Oh, that's too much. Well, hey guys, you're listening to Big Grizz Show. We got to take a station break, and we'll be back. You're listening to mbradio.us, and we'll be back in, I don't know, minute and a half, something like that.
I was caught in the middle of a railroad track. Underground, and I knew there was no turning back. My mind raced, and I thought, what could I do? And I knew there was no help from you. Sound of the drums beating in my heart. The thunder of guns. I will go down with this ship, and I won't put my hands up and surrender. There will be no white flag above my door, 'cause I'm in war. No ways will be. I will go down with this.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
All right, welcome back to the Big Grizz Show. You guys, those challenge coins with Lady Liberty Foundation, they're really cool. The actual face paintings that were on the side of that commercial, that's her actual face paintings that she did, and we turned those into a 3D printed 2-ounce antique silver plated coin. So they are for sale through Lady Liberty, and it's the first edition of them right now. So you guys go to ladylibertyfoundation.org and look them up if you have any interest in looking at those coins or seeing the other stuff that we have available. Or if you guys feel obligated, or not obligated, but if you feel like you want to donate, please donate to Lady Liberty Foundations. All proceeds go back to helping vets and first responders in dire needs when they reach out and they need help. That's what we do with Lady Liberty Foundation, and obviously Lady Liberty Foundation MBR work group. We work together because, well, I'm kind of in both of them, and I'm bringing them both together to get both names out. So on that note, after you got out of the military,
Yes.
and I know this is a touchy subject for some people, and if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to, but all vets have some sort of mental issues, and we know that, whether or not we want to admit it or not, but we know it. How do you deal with your life in the military now that you're a civilian?
Oh, that's a great question. My initial transition, I didn't handle it well. I was like, because in the military, it's like, go, go, go. We can get this thing done. It's going to happen. And I took that mentality like, shoot, I'm going to go out here and get a job at the power plant. Oh, crap. St. Alfred's closing. It shut down when I was out. So then it became, oh, crap. What am I going to do? Because I don't like asking my husband about what can I spend my Amazon money on. So it's like, I need to do something. And I learned that you can't just like, well, I was in the military, I did this. People want to know things. You got to learn how to write a resume. You got to learn how to interview, all these things. So I had to rebrand myself. And I kept, because my head was, it was big, I could do this. What you tell? You said no to me? How dare you say no to me? So being humbled and not allowing those different roles, the fact that I was in the military, all those things make me feel like I wasn't living up to what I just got out of.
So how do you as a mom, because I know I struggle with it and I still struggle with it, how do you separate your military past and what you constantly have to think about and memories that come up that you don't necessarily want, or the sounds or anything like that? How do you keep that separate from your family life?
Great question. It took a while. I'm still balancing it out, but I didn't like truly tackle it until my my family, we ended up getting stationed because my husband was still active duty, and he had TAPS class, and I thought he was truly out, but a hot billet came across to go to Hawaii, and he asked me like, should I do this? I'm thinking, this man has 29 years in. They're not going to approve this. He's on his way out. So I was like, yeah, baby, go ahead and put it in. They called the next day to talk about it. And I was like, oh, crap, we're actually doing this.
We're going to Hawaii.
But that was the best thing for us because we got out there and we really had to be a family. We had to depend on each other. And then COVID happened. And COVID made me really, truly think about what lesson I was leaving with my child, because people just expiring left and right because of COVID. And I was like, okay, if something was to happen to me, what did she learn? All she learned about is, oh, mama's a hard worker and do this to get money. So that made me truly think. And I went and got coaching, which made me like, okay, I want to pursue this because I know how it helped me, life coaching. So I got my certification in it because it really made me look at what am I making my decisions about, what purpose am I lining up with. So
And I totally get that. And like with me, my main thing is I want to leave my kids a legacy. I want them to know me for something more than just being a combat vet and then being a giant asshole coming back.
yeah.
I want to leave some sort of legacy with my kids that they can know, yeah, hey, dad did this, he pushed forward, he got past this thing.
Yeah.
That's really my driving force is my kids, because if it wasn't for my kids and now my wife, I mean I'd probably be living in the woods by myself with my dog.
No, I truly understand it. That is the saving grace of having other roles besides just what my rate was in the military. When you have that and then you start looking at those roles and what it truly means to you. Yeah.
Hello, Stacy. This is one of she's with Lady Liberty.
Hi, Stacy.
She's sweetheart. She's a good lady. So you guys being an actual military couple, there had to have been struggles.
Oh,
how did you guys get past that? What was your strength, your bond that was so tight that got you guys past those military struggles as a military couple?
wow. Yeah, struggles. I could tell you about a lot of struggles. There was one struggle. When we do introduce ourselves like Navy, they only look at my husband and not consider that I was also in the Navy. So, oh, you're just so lucky, So, and it wasn't his fault, but I started feeling like, excuse me, I was in there too. But once we started letting go of our egos, it really helped. It really helped, and looked that we were a team and we were not competing against each other. For instance, yes, the ideals that come from our previous family members where the man was in the military, or he's normally the breadwinner and the wife is staying there. We're not so much in that state. So people, once we release that, hey, that worked for that group, what's going to
Yeah.
work for us? And cool, people are giving advice, but this is what I say. There's 2 names on the marriage license, the marriage certificate, the mortgage, the birth certificate. If those 2 names don't have the highest voice in the conversation, then you're talking to the wrong person. So we had to really start talking to each other more, instead of like, well, this is what worked for, okay, that's cool, but what's going to work for us? So when we started just truly talking to each other, telling each other, what our concerns were, instead of saying we're going to do this, say what is my concern, why I want to do this, so we can both feel heard. Even if we decide something totally opposite, at least we heard each other and we're part of that decision.
Okay. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Now, obviously you got out before your husband got out of the Navy, right?
Yes.
How did you as a mom deal with the fact that you knew your husband was going to deploy and he was going to be away, knowing that you've done that? How were you able to help your kids through that scenario now that there's a parent home, and knowing one's gone instead of knowing they're both gone or they're both deployed or anything like that? How do you cope with that with your kids?
Oh, yeah. So I was lucky that it was early on when my child was a baby. So as long as I fed and changed her diaper, she was cool. But once we got a little bit older, because when she was like really in tune with that he was in the military, he was on shore duty at that point. But that shore duty was taking him away from the home a lot. So I explained the importance of the role, and we tried to see if there was something we could do as a family, like have the lunch things, being intentional with that. And we had to treat it like, okay, if this was a military assignment, we're going to be doing it. If this was a job, we would do this, and not like, oh, we can do something later. So treating it just as important as we treat the job that's paying us, because this is paying us in our family bond. So when we started ensuring we were incorporating and talking to our child, we saw that things started getting better.
Okay. Is your husband still in the Navy?
No, he got out in 21. December 21 is when he was out. So he's been on. I've been his CEO for the last 3 years.
Wait, his what?
His CEO. I'm just
His CEO. Okay, I get it. Yeah, the commander. That's all of us though. Do you notice? I mean, obviously, your husband did a lot was in the Navy for a long time. Do you notice anything different about your husband now that he's out of the military versus when you guys were first together?
Oh, well, I can tell you with that transition, because it's so used to like going in and you do this, you do this, you do this, and bam. It's like, oh no. First off, there's a lot of feminine energy. I'm gonna need more words than that. I'm gonna need a compliment and some stuff before you start asking me to do things for you. But yeah, we just had to like, hey, we're not at war. We are a team here, and we actually had to do like family counseling just to learn how to communicate with each other better. And I highly encourage that. Like, hey, if what you're doing isn't working out, if you feel hey, just allow somebody to help you. People are trained to help you, help those people keep their jobs, and let them come in and help you. But yeah, just analyzing like, is this working for us? Let's do a different approach. But I did notice, like, he actually call him unretired. He needed to go back and work, being at the house. And being a person to do the school drop off and stuff was just not. And at first I thought, it's like, well, we're not enough for you. And it wasn't that. It was just how he was wired. He just needed something extra. So
Yeah.
he is, currently working again, not in the military, but he's currently out there working again, keeping himself mentally stimulated, but also incorporating time with the family. So
That's extremely good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you find, I mean, I now I know what you're doing, what your podcast is going to be, and we'll get into that after this break, but I got one more question for you. Do you find being a military couple easier to handle stuff than just being a couple where one was in the military and is struggling on that with what they've seen?
Ooh, that's a lace question. I find it easier to understand deployment and the things with understanding, like when you call me, hey, we're just gonna talk instead of me asking, like, what did y'all do? What did you do? Because that is, you calling me is getting yourself a break from deployment. So I understand that side of it. And but I think also with us both being in there, it's easy to just only think about the military and not think about the family side of it, of the role.
I get that. Well, hey, you guys are watching the Big Grizz Show on military-broadcast-radio.us. So we're going to take a song break. And when we get back, we're going to talk to Coach Huya about her upcoming podcast. So you guys stay tuned and we'll talk to you soon.
Too big, wanting to grow up way too quick, searching for spotlights since I was 6. Hello, my name is Dream Too Big. Hello, my name is way too loud. My voice can cut right through a crowd. Got made fun of for it, but who's laughing now? Hello, my name is way too loud. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches. God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Far. Lost all my words in a mason jar. Locked eyes with a stranger at the end of the bar. Hello, my name is You'll Go Far. Well, hello, my name is one more try. I put too much stock in bad advice. 'Cause anything worth leaving is worth loving twice. You're never gonna leave the ground. You can tell us all about it when you come back around. Hello, my name is Get Knocked Down. Hello, my name is Stand Back Up. Keep moving even when it gets rough. I've given so much, but I ain't giving up. Hello, my name is Stand Back Up. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches, but God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Going
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hey, welcome back to the Big Grizz Show on Military Broadcast Radio. Right now, we're going to throw out some fast, fun questions to Coach Huya there about her upcoming podcast. So, what's the name of your podcast?
The Bond of Six.
What is it based on?
So it is based on helping military couples, military families just push past the different dynamics that are there to pull us apart. So helping with the communication, with the bond, and with the most two important entities, that those spouses, because it's going to reflect out to everybody else.
So is it more leaning on the military side or couples in general, and how, say, one learning how to deal with the other in the military?
It's definitely with the military couples. I understand because you have, for instance, in my case, we both were dual military, or one spouse can be in the military and the other not. So as long as one or both spouses are in the military, we're looking at that aspect, because I can really speak on that, on all those challenges that come to play with that.
So you said earlier that you are a certified life coach.
Yes.
What is your background in your schooling for being a couples coach, a couples life coach?
Okay. So I went to the Health Coach Institute. That was actually during COVID. It was an avenue for me to not only get coaching sessions for myself, because throughout that we have to do sessions with each other, as well as have the experts come in and help us. So it was therapeutic for me, and I grew so much in it, and I saw that how that the things I learned, or how to reframe, really it started helping with my marriage, and my husband actually it could hear me better. The conversation was sinking in, and he implements some of the things, and I just know for myself, just being in the military, you have to deal with that dynamic. Like, for instance, I saw somebody write about how it does suck that you're saying I do to not spending time with somebody. You're not going to see them for a while, but how are you going to maintain that bond? So, throughout my career, Navy career, I saw marriages end and stuff. And when you ask them, it was about communication, or the intimacy, or just arguing too much. And if I can just put out an olive branch to help those people, because that's important. Like we were speaking earlier, the fact that we were parents, we had another role, husband, wife, had the other role, it helps support you, especially in this military. You don't feel so alone, but sometimes you can be in a house and feel alone because don't have that communication, and it feels like more
Yeah.
torture, and you feel like I should just stayed on the boat. So
Now, I mean, I'm not a huge talker. I agree with the whole communication thing. But I mean, there comes a point I just want to stop talking.
and to understand that, to understand, okay, how is it best that, okay, I communicate? Like, should we write this down? But being able to understand each other and know that, hey, you need your silence, and know that it's not because you don't want to see me and you're through with me. It's just because that's the space that you need. So things like that.
So, what brought you to the epiphany to be a life coach?
The epiphany was when I stopped having panic attacks. I used to have panic attacks a lot. I was
I still do.
even, yeah, and what I learned first with myself, those panic attacks were coming because I didn't feel in control, but all my decisions I were making was not decisions that I necessarily wanted to make for myself, or because it was aligned with my belief. It was 'cause I got to do this for this person. I got to do this for this person. I'm thinking about everybody else except for myself. Of course, I want to give back to the family, but if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to do them any good. So, yeah, after I did that, and it made me really evaluate like my whole belief system, my thought process, what triggered me, why I responded the way I did, and do I want a different outcome? Okay, so there's some habits I need to change to start responding to get the outcome that I wanted in life. And ever since, I I don't have panic attacks. I'm not saying things don't trigger me, but now I know how to respond to it.
Yeah, and that definitely takes time to learn. I mean, it takes a long time to learn. I still haven't learned it fully, but I understand, and I try to keep myself calm, but it's one of those that it's hard to remember that in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one. So hey, take a couple minutes and explain your podcast. And well, we know it's about life coaching, but explain it and and promote your podcast. It's coming up, and we'll end the show with that. And then, so you guys know, I'm gone. I won't be here next week. I'm going on vacation, so it'll be 2 weeks before I'm back in studio.
You say you buying us souvenirs while you're on vacation? That's awesome. That's what I heard. I don't know. But thank you for the opportunity. Wishing you well on your vacation. So the bonus six comes from that there are 6 recognized military branches. So the bonus 6, and this podcast is going to be very transparent. I could just tell you, oh, do this, do this. No, I'm going to tell you how I applied it to my life. Not only showing you, talking about what to do, but how it impacted me, what caused me to choose that. I'm going to tell you about the dark side of Charlene. Uh, but about that belief system and how it impacted my family. I'm going to bring on couples from different branches and different walks who are either retired and reserve in all statuses, and just see how they're applying things and what is working for them, and just giving you space to know that there are people who are rooting for you and don't want to gossip about you. We actually want to root for you.
Well, that's awesome. I can't wait to hear your show. I'm sure me and my wife would have to talk to her, but I mean, we've only been married. We're coming up on a year. But she's still, actually July, end of July will be a year.
Nice.
She still has to deal with the remnants with me.
Yeah.
That I have a hard time controlling, and she's learning slowly. So I mean, that'd be good.
Yeah,
I'm super excited to see it. So now, I mean, with your show, are you focusing on dual military couples, or military couples where it's just one side's in the military?
Yeah. So it's both. As long as one person is in there, I'm speaking on that aspect. Cause yeah.
Okay. What about first responders that are couples that are married that are struggling, like police officers or EMTs, where the spouse is struggling with,
Yeah.
what they have to deal with? Would you talk to them as well?
Yeah. I think that what I'm going to be bringing can be used in all marriages. It's just that I can cater to the military side, but
Yeah.
yeah, definitely all are welcome.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. I mean, we had a guest, but something must have happened to his phone. And I know he was on his way on a vacation too, and he was kind enough to jump in, and we tried. But thank you for being here. So I wasn't by myself. But you guys, stay tuned to the Big Grizz Show. I'll be back in 2 weeks. I think it's July 11th or 12th or something like that. That I'll be
Are
pushing.
you coming back? You didn't sound like you knew it.
I don't know. I think we come back on the 10th, but I think that following Friday is the 11th or the 12th, I believe.
Okay.
We will come back the 10th or the 11th. I might not make that one. It depends on if I want to rush through trying to get everything set up in a day. I don't know. I might just take 2 weeks off and then be back. But you guys, thanks for listening, and you guys have a blessed weekend and have a great summer, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Awesome.
Oh, way to go.
That's the show for today, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. And remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight, anywhere that you can get your podcast episodes. And thanks for joining us today. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something close to my heart. Military Broadcast Radio is doing incredible work to support our veterans and bring their voices to the world. They rely on your generous donations and your dedicated volunteer hours to make it happen. I encourage you to consider supporting NBR in any way, form that you can. Use this QR code that's attached to the picture, or you can go to our website at mbradio.us. That's Mike Bravo Radio.us.